Hello students, up to now we have seen the analysis of the common emitter, common base and cascode amplifiers at high frequencies. Now we are going to see the emitter and source follower circuits, that is nothing but the CC amplifier. This is the circuit for the emitter follower circuit. This figure shows the emitter follower circuit, which the output signal at the emitter is capacitively coupled to the load. Here you can see we have taken the output across the emitter terminal and which was coupled to the load resistor through the coupling capacitor CC2, and this is the small signal high frequency equivalent circuit for this CC amplifier or the emitter follower circuit. And here the equivalent circuit for that transistor Q1 is like this: R pi and C pi at the input side, at the output side GMV pi and small r naught, and also there is a voltage source and resistance and capacitance at the input side. Okay, so while drawing the small signal equivalent circuit, we are going to assume the CC1 and CC2 are short circuited and the voltage sources, the DC voltage sources, are grounded. Like that we are assuming, so that the input side Vi and Rs we have, which was represented at the input side. So Vi and Rs that are given to the base terminal, and the resistances R1 and R2 are connected from the base terminal to the ground terminal. So these two resistance parallel combination was replaced with a single resistance RB, and the emitter resistance which was connected between the emitter terminal to the ground terminal. Okay, so as this is the emitter terminal, from the emitter to ground we have represented Re resistance, and in parallel with the Re we have RL load resistor and the load capacitance CL. These two also represented in parallel with the Re, and at the output side collector terminal has been grounded directly. And now this is the equivalent circuit for the emitter follower circuit. This emitter follower high frequency equivalent circuit can be rearranged. Okay, so the figure B shows that the rearranged circuit. So in the rearranged circuit, the C mu is connected to the ground potential, and also R0 is in parallel with Re and RL. Okay, here I am assuming the C mu is grounded because one of the terminal of the C mu is given to the ground potential. Therefore, we can represent the C mu which is connected between the base terminal to the ground terminal, like that we can assume. And also the R0, the small R0 is in parallel with this Re and RL, because this R0 is also starting at emitter terminal and ending at the ground potential. Okay, therefore we can represent the R0 which is in parallel with Re and RL, and also we can represent the GMV pi at the emitter side like this. Okay, therefore this is the rearranged circuit. At the emitter side we have a dependent current source GMV pi and a parallel combination of these three resistances Re, RL and small r0 that can be given as RL dash. In this analysis we are going to neglect the CL value, and also here RL dash is equal to Re parallel RL parallel small r0. Okay, so we can find the input impedance ZB dash. So here the input impedance of the circuit is nothing but a ZB dash that can be found by looking into the base without the C mu capacitance. Okay, this is the input resistance of our CC amplifier or emitter follower circuit. The current IB dash, which is the current entering into the parallel combination of this R pi resistance and C pi capacitance combination, and the same that is going out from the combination, because the IB dash current is entering into this parallel combination and splitting into the two currents. At the end these two currents are again combining and become as a IB dash current. Okay, the output voltage of this circuit can be given as V0 is equal to, which is a V0 is the voltage across this RL dash resistance, and the currents if flowing in the RL dash are the two currents. One is the current IB dash and another one is the current entering current is GMV pi. Therefore IB plus GMV pi into RL dash, V is equal to I into R. Like that we can write the output voltage equation. Okay, V0 is equal to IB plus GMV pi into RL dash. which was taken as equation number 1. And the voltage V pi can be given as, here V pi is the voltage across the parallel combination of R pi and C pi. Okay, that can be given as V pi is equal to V is equal to I into R. Okay, here the current entering into this parallel combination is IB dash. Here I am representing this parallel combination of R pi and C pi as the admittance Y pi. Okay, here Y pi is nothing but 1 by R pi plus SC pi. That is the admittance of this parallel combination of R pi and C pi. Okay, so here this one is a very important equation that we will use later on. And here the voltage at the node VB will be equal to the V pi voltage plus V naught voltage. Okay, so here VB is equal to V pi plus V naught because it is the voltage across these two. Okay, here the voltage is V naught across the load resistance RL dash, and V pi is the voltage across the R pi resistance, and these two voltage combination is nothing but the VB, and the ZB dash, which is equal to the ratio of voltage to the current. Here the voltage is VB and the current is IB dash. Therefore, we can replace the VB as V pi plus V naught. That is equation number 3. Now we can use the equation number 1, 2, 3 in order to get the input impedance of our circuit. By combining the equations 1, 2 and 3, we can obtain ZB dash is equal to, so here I am going to substitute the V pi value. So V pi equation is IB dash by Y pi plus V naught equation is IB dash plus GM V pi into RL dash divided by IB. Okay, so here also the V pi can be replaced as IB dash by Y pi. Okay, so in this numerator the IB dash is common in the 3 terms. Okay, therefore we can common the IB dash and then we can cancel with the denominator IB dash current. Therefore the ZB dash will be equal to 1 by Y pi plus RL dash plus GM RL dash divided by Y pi. That is the ZB dash equation. If you common the 1 by Y pi from these two terms, 1 by Y pi into 1 plus GM RL dash plus RL dash we have. And substituting the expression for the Y pi in the above equation, we can get ZB dash is equal to 1 by R pi plus S into C pi into 1 plus GM RL dash plus RL dash. Here we are going to take this 1 plus GM RL dash into the denominator. Therefore, it will becomes 1 by R pi into 1 plus GM RL dash plus SC pi divided by 1 plus GM into RL dash plus RL dash. Here, if you see this equation, we can say that the RL dash, okay, which is in series with the parallel combination of R pi into 1 plus GM RL dash, and the capacitance value is C pi divided by 1 plus GM RL dash. So this equivalent circuit has been replaced like this. Okay, from the equation number 4, we can say that the effect of the C pi has been reduced in the emitter follower circuit. And from the equation number 1 and 2, we have V naught is equal to, actually V naught is equal to what? IB dash plus GM R pi into RL dash, and V pi is equal to IB dash divided by Y pi. By substituting these values in the V naught equation, so IB dash plus GM into IB dash by Y pi into RL dash. Here we can common the IB from the numerator, IB into 1 plus GM divided by Y pi into RL dash. If you take LCM for these terms, Y pi plus GM divided by Y pi into RL dash, and the output voltage V naught now is equal to V pi into Y pi plus GM into RL dash. So here IB dash divided by Y pi can be taken as V pi. Okay, here IB dash divided by Y pi is nothing but V pi. Therefore V naught is equal to V pi into Ym plus Gm RL dash. So which will be 0 when the Y pi plus Gm is equal to 0. Okay, this output voltage will be 0 whenever the Y pi plus Gm is equal to 0. That is the output voltage equation for the emitter follower circuit. And by using the definition of Y pi, the 0 occurs at F naught is equal to 1 by 2 pi C pi into R pi by 1 plus beta. Since this R pi by 1 plus beta is a very small value, the frequency F naught is usually very high because the F naught and this resistance value are inversely proportional to each other. In many applications, the impedance R pi into 1 plus gm RL dash in parallel with the C pi divided by 1 plus gm RL dash is large when compared with the RL dash resistance. If we neglect the RL dash, because these two are in series combination, right? Therefore, if we neglect the RL dash, then the time constant will be equal to tau p, that is equal to RS parallel RB parallel 1 plus gm RL dash into R pi into C mu plus C pi divided by 1 plus gm RL dash. That is the time constant tau p. Okay, so which is equal to, when we are calculating the time constant, we will zero the Vi. Therefore, this Rs is in parallel with Rb resistance. Therefore, Rs parallel with Rb, and this parallel combination is in parallel with this 1 plus gm RL into R pi, and the capacitance in parallel here is C mu plus C pi divided by 1 plus gm RL dash, because the C mu and this capacitance C pi by 1 plus gm RL dash are in parallel combination, therefore mentioned as like this. And the 3 dB cutoff frequency can be given as FHT, higher corner frequency, that will be equal to 1 by 2 pi tau p. Here the tau p is the time constant, that will be equal to the tau pi is equal to Rs parallel Rb parallel 1 plus gm RL dash into R pi into C mu plus C pi divided by 1 plus gm RL dash. So that is about the emitter and source follower circuit. Okay, this is the time constant when we use the emitter and source follower circuit. So now we are going to see one design example, that is to design a two-stage amplifier with a coupling capacitors. This is the design question what they have given. So we need to design the two-stage BJT amplifier, and which having the coupling capacitors, that will gives you the 3 dB cutoff frequency, which is equal for both stages. So that I have taken one two-stage CE amplifier circuit here. Here the CC1 and CC2 are the two coupling capacitors. Those are deciding the 3 dB frequencies associated with the each stage. Okay, so our intention is to calculate the CC1 and CC2 values here. The specifications I have taken here is, the first two stages of multi-stage BJT amplifier are to be capacitively coupled to the 3 dB frequency. For each stage is to be 20 Hz. Okay, so here I have taken the 3 dB frequency is equal to the 20 Hz for each stage. Okay, up to here, this is the first stage of the CE amplifier section, and the first stage CE amplifier output is given to the second stage CE amplifier as an input, okay, through the coupling capacitor CC2. And the CC1 is the input coupling capacitor, that is coupling the source signal to the base of the first stage. And the design choices I am assuming here are the VBE on, which is 0.7 volts, because I am assuming these two transistors are silicon type of transistors, and beta for the each transistor is 200, and early voltage is infinity. Now we are going to get the DC analysis for the each stage. Okay, this is the DC analysis equivalent circuit. Here I am assuming that ICQ is the DC collector current and IBQ is the DC base current. Okay, so this is the single stage CE amplifier circuit which I have taken. So in order to get the DC analysis, I am assuming the DC voltage present at the input side is equal to the Thevenin's equivalent voltage VTH, and this parallel combination of R1 and R2 can be taken as a Thevenin's equivalent resistance RTH. Now we can get the Thevenin's equivalent resistance, that is the parallel combination of R1 and R2. From the circuit diagram, the value of R1 is 55 kilo ohms and R2 is at 31 kilo ohms. Therefore, the RTH value will be equal to 19.8 kilo ohms. And VTH is the Thevenin's equivalent voltage, that is the voltage across this R2 resistance, which can be given as applied voltage into across the resistance divided by the total resistance. So VCC into R2 divided by R1 plus R2. So here R2 value is 31 kilo ohms and R1 value is 55 kilo ohms. After substituting these values, we can get the Thevenin's equivalent voltage as 1.802 volts. Okay, here IBQ is the base DC current that is equal to VTH minus VBE on. So here the two voltages are VTH and the VBE between base to emitter. Okay, VTH minus VBE on divided by the total resistance, and here the resistance in this loop is RTH plus 1 plus beta into RE as per the resistance reflection rule. Therefore, after substituting these values, we can get the IBQ as 4.99 microamperes. And now we can calculate the DC collector current ICQ, which is equal to beta into IBQ. So after multiplying this 4.99 microamperes with the beta value of 200, we can get it as 0.998 milliamperes. That is the value of ICQ collector current. And now we are going to do the AC analysis for this circuit. The small signal diffusion resistance R pi, which is equal to beta Vt by ICQ, that is the formula for the R pi, and here beta is equal to 200 and Vt is equal to 26 millivolts at room temperature. ICQ value is 0.988 milliamperes. Therefore, we can get the R pi value is equal to 5.21 kilo ohms, and the input resistance of the circuit can be given as, we know that the input resistance Ri, which is equal to R pi plus 1 plus beta times into Re from the small signal equivalent circuit. Okay, so here R pi value is 5.21 and the beta is 200. Therefore, 1 plus beta is equal to 201 into Re value is 1 kilo ohm. Then we can get the Ri as 206.2 kilo ohms. Okay, therefore this is the small signal equivalent circuit for the two-stage CE amplifier. Here I have taken only single stage. Okay, the second stage input resistance and the biasing resistors will becomes as a load for the first stage. So these R1 parallel R2 and Ri of the second stage has been shown like load resistance for the first stage. Okay, so this is the first stage equivalent circuit along with the second stage input resistance, which is nothing but the load. The small signal equivalent circuit shown in the figure, and the time constant for the first stage is given by tau A is equal to the resistance into the capacitance value. At the input side, the CC1 is the capacitance, which is getting multiplied with the parallel combination of R1, R2 and Ri. Therefore, the tau A is equal to R1 parallel R2 parallel Ri into CC1. And the time constant at the second stage. In the second stage, we have the capacitance CC2 that is getting multiplied with this parallel combination of RC1, okay, plus R1 parallel R2 parallel Ri. Okay, so here the RC1 is in series with this parallel combination of R1 parallel R2 parallel Ri. Okay, so because the CC2 is in between these parallel combination of these resistances and RC1. Okay, if the 3 dB frequency of each stage to be 20 Hz, we know that the 3 dB frequencies f is equal to 1 by 2 pi tau A R B. Therefore, we can calculate the time constant tau is equal to 1 by 2 pi f. Therefore, the tau A or tau B should be equal to 1 by 2 pi. Here f is nothing but 20 Hz. When we substitute the value of f, which is equal to 20 Hz as per our design, we can get the tau A or tau B as 7.958 into 10 power minus 3 seconds, which is 7.98 milliseconds. Okay, so we got the value of the tau A and tau B. By using these equations for the tau A and B, we can get the values of CC1 and CC2. Okay, the CC1 will be equal to the tau A divided by this entire equation, R1 parallel R2 parallel Ri, and the CC2 capacitance value will be equal to the tau by divided by RC1 plus R1 parallel R2 parallel Ri. Okay, therefore after substituting those values, we can get the CC1 as 0.44 microfarads and the CC2 as 0.386 microfarads. Okay, these are all the two values of the coupling capacitors at the stage 1 as well as the stage 2. Therefore, we can say that the analysis what we approach to get the coupling capacitor values is called as a brute force approach, and the 3 dB frequency for each capacitor is 20 Hz. This circuit is referred as the two-pole high pass filter circuit. Okay, since the 3 dB frequency for each capacitor is 20 Hz, then the circuit is refers to be two-pole high pass filter. Okay, so that's all about the designing of the coupling capacitors for the two-stage CE amplifier. Okay, so this is the last topic in the unit number 2.